A long time ago, in a small community of Ika, in the household of Eli, a man and a woman stood in a room discussing a crucial matter. The man, Yesufu, was livid. He had known that something was wrong when his personal guard informed him that his wife to be would like to see him. He had also seen the nervous, anxious look on Isa's face as she quickly ushered him into his bride's chamber, ensuring that no one saw them. It was not customary for the bride to privately see the groom in the days leading to the final union, as it was believed that this could spell doom for them. Marriage rites lasted for 3 days. However, the groom and his family were expected to be at their in-laws' abode 3 days prior. There, they would be hosted by the bride's family in all kinds of interesting sports and activities. This varied depending on the wealth and status of both families, but the intent was to get to know one another well. Even though his bride's family was not as well to do as his family, they had made an impressive effort in the lineup of activities. He had just come back from hunting and was about to take a shower when Matthew told him his presence was needed in Maria's room and it was urgent. He had thought the request weird, but the urgency had roused his concern and interest, and so he had immediately made his way there. Now he was standing in the room, staring at the woman before him in anger. How could she do this to him? How could she just be telling him this now? Why had she not sent word days before he arrived with his family? Why now, in the middle of their marriage festivities? He grunted loudly in frustration, and Maria reached out a hand to pacify him.
Don't.
He was trying to control the boiling rage that threatened to erupt. He glanced briefly in her direction, his eyes shooting daggers at her, while his heart crumbled in despair. She looked ethereal and beautiful in the brown flowing tunic dress she wore, and his breath caught in his throat as he stared at her innocent-looking face. It was void of any guile, and it was that face that had stolen his heart the first time he met her. When his father informed him that he had found him a wife, he had reservations. He had agreed to follow his father to the meeting with her family with the sole purpose of being able to behold the damsel he was going to marry, if he would marry her.
She's from a good family.
He had said that about a few other maidens, but the moment he began to interact with them, he knew he couldn't go ahead with the union. This time, he didn't want the discussions to have gone far before he decided. It was usually embarrassing for the girl's family, and he wanted to avoid that.
You will like this one, I assure you.
I still need to see her, Baba. If I do, I can tell if I should marry her or not.
He was therefore peeved to learn that she was not at home and had gone to the farm with her younger sister to milk some cows. Their family was one of the foremost suppliers of dairy milk in the community, but he did not think that their children would be physically involved in the process. From what he'd seen, they had servants and were comfortable. He imagined they would have people to milk the cows as well, rather than have their girls do it.
My girls are hard workers, especially my Maria.
I'm happy to hear that.
Our father must have read the look in his eyes, and he decided to keep mute, letting his people do the rest of the talking, while he tried to hide his displeasure, only for the discussion to be interrupted by the voice of a young woman as she walked into the room.
Baba, you need to speak to... Forgive me. I did not know you had visitors.
His displeasure immediately disappeared when she walked into the room, and every single reservation he had dissolved. He knew then that he would marry her. He wasn't sure which of the sisters she was, but this one, standing before him, staring at him with dull eyes, was the one. She caught herself staring and quickly lowered her gaze while her father introduced her.
This is my first daughter, Maria.
It seemed like a cat suddenly caught her tongue, because everything she said after that was incoherent. Or maybe he was the one who was too enthralled with her to hear anything. He couldn't take his eyes off her. And to say that he was relieved she was the one they were there for was an understatement. If she was the younger daughter, he might have to wait until the older one was married before he could take her as his wife. Since she was the older one, they could begin the marriage process immediately. His eyes trailed her until she left the room, and he had to be prompted by his father before he turned back to them.
So,
Yes, we can go ahead.
There was just something about her that tugged at him. Even now that he was upset, his instinct was to protect and shield her from what he knew would happen when the news got out. And it would. There was no hiding it. He heaved a sigh, wondering how she could do this to him. He opened his mouth to speak, but words failed him. His heart was constricted with a pain like nothing he had ever felt. He might not have realized it before, but now he knew he loved her dearly, and the thought of her betrayal stung deeply.
Yusufu, please, say something.
Why are you just telling me now?
She held his gaze, the guilt obvious, and he realized she was going to go ahead with the marriage rites without telling him.
I cannot believe you. You were going to trick me.
I could not. I would never.
Then why wait till now? You knew Saint, did you not?
Yes, but I didn't think. I believed, but
Help me make sense of this.
I cannot. It makes no sense. Whatever you decide, I will accept.
If he were to decide according to the laws of the land, she would be stoned to death. She was carrying another man's child when she was betrothed to another. And Yusufu was not any man. He came from the royal bloodline. There would be no mercy for her treachery. Her family would be disgraced and banished from the community. Anyone associated with them would be treated with suspicion and contempt. It would be gruesome. If he were to go by the way he was feeling, he wanted her to suffer this and more. But even in the whirlwind of his anger, he knew he couldn't put her through such torture. He, however, didn't know what he could do, so he walked out of her chambers. Matthew was waiting for him with his big water when he walked into the chamber that had been assigned to him. But he was in no mood to have a shower. He doubted that the now cold water could ease the heat burning in his heart. He tried to sit still but was unable to. Matthew gave him a concerned look, wondering what had transpired between him and his betrothed.
My lord,
I do not want to talk about it, and you must not discuss this with anyone. Is that understood?
Matthew nodded, but was confused as to what he shouldn't discuss with anyone when his master had blatantly stated that he wasn't going to tell him anything. Yusufu interrupted his thoughts.
I need to be left alone.
and the bathwater should I
Leave
take?
it.
Matthew did as he was instructed, leaving the chamber for his master. Alone, Yusufu resumed his seat on the bed.
Yusufu rubbed his hands against his forehead to ease the headache that was steadily coming on. He wasn't sure who he could talk to or what he could do. He had never been so confused in his entire life.
He decided to pray.
Odua, Romilompo,